All right, I'm going to mute you all and let's start standing. Okay. Mute. There we go. Okay. Okay, cool. So just starting to find a comfortable standing position. Coming to a comfortable standing position. Feet about hip distance apart. Knees soft. Tailbone soft. Shoulders softening away from the ears. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Crown lifted. Arms, hands, fingers relaxed. And just taking a moment to settle into the feeling of the body. So noticing the feeling of the ground beneath the feet. Really noticing the soles of the feet spreading across the ground. And as we come into this comfortable position, just think about letting go of effort to allow the body to find its natural, comfortable position. So the spine is really, really amazing, and it always wants to come back to equilibrium. It always wants to come back to its natural shape. So it's almost like we just need to let go of the effort and let go of a little bit of muscular control to allow the spine to find its natural shape and its natural sense of ease. And then we're going to start with tapping. So we're going to tap from the thumb and come all the way along the top of the arm. So if you haven't done it before, no right or wrong way to do it. We're just tapping along the top of the arm and up and into the shoulder. And then underneath the arm. And all the way along to the heel of the hand and the little finger. And then turning the hand over, coming from the middle finger to the shoulder. So middle finger to shoulder. And up and underneath the arm, all the way along to the heel of the hand and the little finger. Taking it to the other side from the thumb, really starting to notice how your body feels as we move around the different parts. And noticing the feeling of the breath. Then we're going to take the head over to one side. Find a gentle stretch down the side of the neck. Cross the arm over the body, tapping just behind the ear, and we'll come down the side of the neck, all the way along to the shoulder. And back up to just behind the ear. We'll do that one more time, down the side of the neck, into the shoulder. And all the way back up to just behind the ear. Taking it to the other side, gentle stretch down the side of the neck, just allowing the arms to be heavy. Crossing the arm over the body to tap into the stretch, so behind the ear, down the side of the neck, into the muscles, connective tissues, all the way along to the shoulder, back up to just behind the ear. One more time, down the side of the neck, into the shoulder, all the way back up to just behind the ear. And then bringing the arm out stretched, supporting the elbow so you can reach right back to the upper back muscles. Targeting those upper back muscles, back of the neck, between the shoulder blades, around the shoulder, wherever you need to pay attention to today. I'm looking a bit wary because my cat's just come in and he likes to attack me when I'm doing yoga. So, could be interesting. Let's take it to the other side. Arm comes out stretched, supporting the elbow, reaching right back. He's looking at me with disgust. That's great. And then fingertips to the crown of the head, waking up the crown. Getting a sense of how tall you are, really lengthening through the spine. And then dropping the chin to the chest, working the fingertips down the back of the head to find the dip at the nape of the neck. Working the fingertips into that dip as you look down between the toes. And then keep on tapping down the back of the neck until you can't tap any further down. And reach the elbows up high as you look down between the toes. So you're really lengthening through the back of the back of the neck as the chin moves towards the chest. And then back up the neck and around to the sides of the ears. And we'll cover the whole surface of the head, tapping across the whole surface. It's a good wake up one, this one, isn't it? Get the energy moving. Fingertips to the forehead, down the forehead, all the way down to that spot between the eyebrows. As we tap between the eyebrows, let's take a deep inhale. And a long, slow exhale through the mouth, like a sigh. Fingertips moving along the eyebrows to the temples, and then back into the midline. Over the eyelids, gently tapping the eyelids. Bridge of the nose, along the cheekbones, out towards the ears as we hit the top of the cheekbones, taking another deep inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the mouth like a sigh. Fingertips moving down the face, cheeks, top lip, bottom lip, along the jaw. Lift the gaze, work the fingertips down the front of the neck to find the dip at the throat, working the fingertips into that dip. And then we'll find the hollows underneath the collarbones, tapping into those hollows. Inhaling deeply. And exhaling. Good. Fingertips across the chest. Again, building up some energy. One hand to the heart, one to the solar plexus, tapping up and down. Round to the sides of the ribs. All around the sides of the ribs, up and underneath the arms as far as you can go. And then we'll start to tap from the top of the right leg, coming up the right hand side of the stomach, across the top, down the left hand side, across the bottom. Nice big circles around the abdomen. And then taking one hand over the other, we'll just follow those circles around, smoothing, calming. That's great. And then bringing the fists to the hips, waking up the hips, getting the muscles of the hips moving, sides of the hips, back of the hips, fronts of the hips, lower back, just working into your lower back in a way that feels comfortable and good. And then working the hands all the way up the back as far as you can go with the sides of the hands, over the backs of the ribs, coming back down. And we'll take an inhale as we reach up and stretch out. An exhale to tap down thighs, the outsides of the calves. Bend the knees as much as you need to come over the feet and the toes, and then lightly coming up the inside of the leg, up and over the pelvis. We'll do that one more time. Inhale to reach up and stretch out. Exhale, tapping down thighs and the calves, feet and toes, all the way up the inside of the leg. It's a bit more tender, so go easy. Up and over the pelvis. Good. Then we're going to smooth off the arms all the way to the fingertips. Shake out the hands, shake out the arms. And then smooth off the legs all the way to the toes. And shake out the feet. Loosen up those ankles, all those tiny bones and muscles in the feet and toes. So we want to make sure we've got a little bit of room around us, so we're not going to hit anything, because we're going to take the weight from one foot to the other and swing the arms. Nice, big, free movements. Swinging the arms, twisting. So you're pivoting on the foot that you're turning away from. So you're not tweaking the knees. It's a nice, easy, free movement. Noticing the feeling of the air moving across the skin. Noticing your breath. You can use your hands across your abdomen and your lower back like this. You can use your hands across your chest and your mid-back. Good. You can take the hand all the way over the shoulder and look down behind you, deepening that twist even more. As long as that feels good and comfortable in your neck. So just doing what's right for you today. Listen to your body, listen to the feedback from your body. You don't have to do everything. Good. Okay, slowing down. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider. Turn the right foot out. And we're just going to start to bend into that right knee and straighten. And bend and straighten. And bend and straighten. Good. And then we're going to bring in the twist. So we're going to bend and twist and straighten and twist. Same thing, bend and straighten. Make sure you've got enough room. Bend so you can swing your arms. Good. Lovely. Bending into that knee and straightening. Arms moving freely. Good. And then as we twist, we're going to pivot on the back foot. So we're coming into a lunge. Both feet are facing forwards. You're on the ball of the back foot. Bend that back knee to lengthen the lower back. And then bring the hands to the hips. We're going to bring in a little twist and pivot from the hips. So we're going to twist towards that bent front leg and the hips twist and come back to where you started. And twist and come back to where you started. So 3 more. It's a little twist from the hips. Twist and come back. I'm just going to come and have a look at you. And twist from the hips. Good. And come back. Try to keep the torso still. Twist from the hips. 1 more. And coming back to centre. Good. And pivot on the feet. And we'll turn the left foot out. And bend into the left knee. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. And bring in the arms. Twist. And twist. Good. Allowing the breath to move freely. Good. And then twist and pivot. Find your lunge. You're on the ball of the back foot. If you need to adjust yourself to feel more stable, feel free to do that. Bend the back knee. Find some length in the lower back. Hands to the hips. And twisting at the hips. So the torso is staying in line, it's just the hips that are twisting as you bend that back knee even more and twist. And come back to centre. And twist. And come back to centre. 2 more. Twist. Come back to centre. 1 more. Twist. It might get a bit wobbly, don't worry about it. Come back to centre, good. Pivot the feet. Feet just slightly turned out. And we'll just bend into both knees to come into a gentle, easy squat. Bring one hand to the chest, one to the back. And then straighten. And we're just going to notice what the spine's doing as we bend and straighten. And bend and straighten. So noticing if your spine feels like it's curving excessively. Does it feel comfortable? Free. 1 more. Okay, great. This time we're going to bring hands to the hips. Work into the hips, into the 4 corner shape. So we're going to go front hip to corner, front hip to corner, back to hip to corner, back hip to corner. So you're drawing a square with your hips. Front, front, back, back. One more, front, front, back, back. Just, and then take it in the other direction. Back and forwards and back. Just getting into all those bits of the hips. Back, forwards, forwards, back. Give them a good stretch out. One more, back, forwards, forwards, and back. And then coming back up to centre, bring the feet a little bit closer in, about hip distance apart. Bring the hands to the rib cage. So what I'm doing here is I'm cupping my ribs, the sides of the ribs, with this corner of my hand between the thumb and finger. So it's not the abdomen, it's not the soft part here, it's actually the rib cage that I want to feel. So my thumb's around the back of the rib cage and my fingers coming around the front. We're going to start to find the breath here. See if you can start to breathe into the hands so that the hands move apart from each other. So we're finding some sideways expansion. Breathing in, and the ribs are moving away from each other, and breathing out, they move towards each other, especially if you exhale fully and completely. So we're starting to find that breath into the rib cage, some sideways expansion. In yoga we talk a lot about the belly breath. It's actually really useful to use the breath to mobilise all the different parts of the body. So all these different ways of breathing are good in their different ways. Couple more. Breathing in, the ribs expand. Breathing out, they draw back towards one another. One more deep breath. Good. So now we're going to see if we can mobilise the ribs. And this is a fun one we've done in class, you might remember. So again, you might want to keep your hands on your ribs, or you might want to have them on the hips, it depends. So what we're going to try and do is move the rib cage without moving the hips. So we're trying to move them independently. So can you shift your ribs from side to side without moving your hips? And it's not just the shoulders moving, not side bending like this. We're trying to find a shift, a sideways movement at the hip, at the rib. It's not easy. And if you can find that one, maybe you want to move on and see if you can find a forwards backwards movement in the ribs. So that would be like a cat-cow movement in the mid-back. So you're rounding and moving the rib cage back, and then extending and moving the rib cage forwards, but the hips are staying still. So maybe you can find that forwards backwards movement in the rib cage. And again, it's not necessarily a big movement. It might just be getting to know where the rib cage even is movement. You might just be having an explore of that side to side movement still, and that's okay. You might want to see how it feels to move the rib cage in a circle. So take it all the way around, forward, side, back, side, circling the rib cage round but without moving the hips. And then take it in the other direction. And then coming back to centre. And bring the fingertips lightly to the back of the head. Light fingertip touch on the back of the head. Drawing the elbows back slightly. I'm going to straighten the arms out. So the palms are facing forwards. And then rotate from the shoulder to take the palms to face behind you. And then bend the elbows and hover the hands just above the lower back. So we're just going to hover the hands here. We're not touching the lower back, just hovering. Good. Straighten the arms out. Rotate from the shoulder to face the palms forwards. Bend the elbows, fingertips come lightly to the back of the head. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Draw the elbows back slightly. Straighten the arms. Rotate from the shoulder, palms face behind you. Bend the elbows, good. Hover the hands. Lovely. And straighten. And rotate. See if you can find that rotation from the shoulder rather than the elbow, the wrist. Fingertips lightly to the back of the head. One more. Straighten. Rotate. Cracking going on there. Bend the elbows, hover the hands. We're going to hold here for this time. Hold the hands. See if you can draw them away from the back even more. And then straighten the arms out behind you. Try not to change the shape of the spine. It can be quite easy to start to come into a back bend here. We're not doing that. We're trying to keep the lower back long, the rib cage in place. So those front ribs drawn in, and just reach those fingertips behind. And then start to imagine that you're squeezing a beach ball between the hands. And the back of the neck is long. You're squeezing a beach ball between your hands. Good. And then release the arms. We'll bring the hands together, the elbows together. Into this modified eagle pose. So the palms are together, the elbows are together. And what we're going to do again, you can see how I'm already, my spine's going all wiggly. So just reset your spine. So the lower back is long. I'm not flaring those front ribs out. I'm going to draw them in a little bit. And lift the elbows up as far as is comfortable without them coming away from each other. And then we're going to round into the upper back, just the upper back, drawing those elbows in towards the chest, but actually still resisting and keeping them away. And we're rounding into the upper back. Take a couple of deep breaths into the back of the body here. Keep pressing the palms together. See if you can get some movement into the back of the body as you breathe. And then lifting up. We're going to open the arms out into a cactus shape. Keep the lower back long. Keep the hips pressing forward slightly as you lift the chest and lift the gaze. Coming into a little back bend in the upper back. Good. Arms together. So we're going to do that 2 more times. Palms together, elbows together, round into the upper back. Just the upper back. So all of this is staying nice and stable. I'm going to come and have a look at you. Take a couple of breaths into the back of the body. Good. Keep those hips pressing forward slightly. And then lifting, open the arms out into a cactus shape. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Open the chest. One more time, elbows together, palms together, round into the upper back. Breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. Lift, open, lift chest, lift the gaze, lower back is long, even a little bit relaxed. It's all in the upper back. And then coming back to neutral spine, looking forwards, arms are still in cactus. Soften the knees, stabilise that lower back. We're going to take a side bend. So try not to pull the elbow closer to the body, keep the arms in a cactus shape. Good, and then come back to centre. Other side, side bending. And come back to centre. We'll do that one more time each side. Side bending, good. And back to centre. And side bending. And back to centre. Good. Then cross the arms over the chest. Just crossing the arms over the chest, that's it. Are you alright, Mandy? Are your shoulders okay? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, cool. Okay, crossing the arms over the chest. This time we're going to take a twist again, just in this upper back section, keeping this contained, hips, lower back contained. We're going to take a twist. So we're thinking about rotating the rib cage and finding some resistance at the core of the body, the centre of the body, because the lower back is staying neutral as the upper back twists. And come back to centre. And then twist. So your hip points, this hip point isn't turning and following, your knees aren't moving, it's just the upper back. And come back to centre. We'll do one more each side, so twisting. And coming back to centre. And twisting. And coming back to centre. And releasing the arms. And dropping the head down, chin to chest, dropping the shoulders forwards, walking the fingertips down the legs as we start to release forwards and down into our forward fold. Slowly, slowly, making your way into a comfortable forward fold. So you might want to bend the knees. Might want to take the feet a little bit wider. Find some release through the upper back, the back of the neck. Allow the head to hang heavy. And then we're going to bring the fingertips down to the ground, the palms to the ground. Walk the feet back into plank. Take as many steps as you need. Find your plank position. You might want to drop the knees down straight away, that's fine, into a half plank, or just holding here for a moment, really pushing the ground away, really using those arms, those shoulders, looking slightly forwards, and then we'll all drop the knees down and start to lower the chest forwards and down, forwards and down, forwards and down, forwards and down, and lay your chest and belly down on the ground at the same time. Lay yourself softly down. And we'll make a pillow for the forehead with the hands. Rest the forehead on the hands. And again, we're going to tune into the breath here. So we're going to use the ground as feedback here. The ground resting, or the abdomen resting on the ground. Start to find that expansion as you breathe in. So as you breathe in and you're lying on your front there, the abdomen can't expand very much. So we can start to draw that expansion into the rib cage again. So as you breathe in, perhaps lengthening the breath a little bit more, deepening the breath. We're starting to mobilise the ribs, so breathing into the rib cage and they expand, drawing away from each other, just like we did when we were standing. Breathing out and they draw back towards one another. Breathing out fully and completely. And then see if you can breathe into the back of the body. So as well as getting that sideways expansion, we're also getting an expansion into the back of the body. So we can actually mobilise our spine, bring movement to our spine with the breath. Especially into that part, the mid-back section that can get a bit stuck. Sending the breath into the back of the body. then see if you can breathe into the lower back. See if you can breathe as though you are breathing in and out of your lower back. That spot where the waistband of your trousers sits. Can you breathe as though you're breathing in and out of your lower back? And then bring your fingertips lightly to the back of the head. Light fingertip touch on the back of the head. Just like we did before. And then straighten the arms out. The palms are facing the ground. Rotate from the shoulder. Bend the elbow and hover the hands just above the lower back. And straighten the arms out. And rotate from the shoulder. And bend the elbows so that the fingertips come back to the back of the head, light fingertip touch, draw the elbows away from each other. Inhale and lift the chest into a low cobra. So press your hips into the ground, point the toes, chest lifting, good. And then release back down, forehead to the ground. Straighten the arms out. Back of the neck is long now. Rotate the shoulder, palms facing up. Bend the elbows, hover the hands just above the lower back. Good. Straightening, rotating, bending, fingertips come lightly to the back of the head. Take an inhale as you lift into a low cobra. Keep those hip bones pressing into the ground. The lower back's long. Good. Release back down, forehead to the ground. Arms straighten. Palms rotate, shoulders rotate, bend the elbows, hover the hands just above the lower back. Holding here this time. And then we're going to straighten the arms out behind you. Forehead is still on the ground at the moment. Arms straight, and you're going to imagine squeezing that beach ball behind you again. Squeezing that beach ball. And then you can inhale to lift the chest into your low cobra. And lift the toes as well. Keep those hips pressing down into the ground. Good. Back of the neck is long. And then releasing toes, chest. Bring the hands down in front of you. Make a pillow for your forehead with your hands again. You can rock the hips from side to side. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and pushing back into a child's pose. So finding a comfortable resting position. You might want to use a cushion. You might want to use a cushion and a block. It's completely up to you. Make yourself comfortable, find a comfortable resting pose. Hips towards the heels, forehead towards the ground, arms releasing by your sides. Again, we can use this position to find that expansive breath. So the abdomen is restricted here and can't expand as much with the breath. So we can use that to help us find expansion in the ribs and the back of the body. And then slowly lifting up, and we're going to come into a high kneeling position. So I like to have something soft underneath my knees. You're welcome to grab a blanket or something, or just double up the mat. You can double the mat up just to give yourself a bit of cushioning for your knees. Again, thinking about the lower back staying stable here. It's the theme, isn't it, through this? So there's a slight tucking of the tailbone, just slight lengthening, and the hips are moving forwards to find that long lower back. We're going to just start to move the arms with the breath, breathing in as you reach up. And breathing out as you pull the arms down. So we're pulling down, elbows moving in towards the ribs. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, pull. So you've got some muscular engagement underneath the arms here, in the armpits. Pull, pull, pull down on your exhale. And again, breathing in as you reach up. And breathing out as you pull down, like you're pulling down a bar. Good. This time we're going to add in a little bit of a back bend in the upper back by lifting the chest. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, pull down, lift the chest. Maybe lift the gaze if that's comfortable. If it's not comfortable in the neck, you can still be looking forward. So we're just opening the chest here. And again, breathe in, reach up, breathe out, pull down, find that back bend in the upper back. So your chest is lifting, but your lower back is long. We're going to reach the arms behind us this time. Imagine squeezing that beach ball behind you. Good. And again, chin to chest, release the arms, reach up, breathe in. Breathe out, pull down, lift the chest, send the hips forwards, lengthen that lower back. Lift up, arms come behind, squeeze that beach ball behind you. And release the arms, chin to chest. One more time. Imagine that you're in a power ballad video as you breathe in and reach up. And breathe out and pull down. And lift the chest, open the heart, reach behind, squeeze the hands towards each other. And then release the arms, release chin to chest. Release hips towards the heels, forehead towards the ground. Make your way back into a comfortable child's pose. And then we'll come back up onto our knees. And we'll bring the right foot forwards, coming into a lunge position. So we're not coming into a really stretchy lunge where we're leaning forwards. We'll bring the hip above the knee. Stable on that front foot. Bring the hands to cross over the chest, opposite shoulder. Lower back's long, slight lengthening of the tailbone. We're going to find that same twist that we had before. So let's twist to the right first. So twisting, but keeping the lower back still. So you're finding that resistance at the core, at the centre. Twisting right. Coming back to centre. Twisting left. Good. Okay, come back to centre. Twist right, I'm going to hold this time, and then open the arms out. So you're opening your arms out and fingertips are reaching away from each other as you hold that twist. Core is strong, so you've got that resistance going on inside. To hold that twist there without the lower back following. Maybe it helps to bring the hands into fists to make it a little bit stronger. See how that feels. If it feels good and comfortable to here, you can then reach the front arm up and the back arm back to find that back bend in the upper back again. So the lower back is really staying long and stable. And then we'll come back up. You're still in your twist, cross the arms over the chest and come back to centre. Good. And then see how it feels to just pick up that front foot. Can you balance for a minute? Picking up that front foot. Love this one. It's like a puppet. Gets a bit wobbly. Can you hold it off the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then take it back. Well done. Next one. Left foot forwards. Find some stability here. Some sense of ease. Cross the arms over the chest. Good, lower back's long. We'll twist towards the left. Good. And come back to centre. And twist towards the right. Good. And come back to centre. Twist towards the left. Nice and slow. Find that twist. Strong twist. And then open the arms out. Open the arms out. You might want to make the hands into fists. Really lengthening through that lower back still. Good. And then you might want to take the front arm up as you take the back arm back. And lift the chest, lift the gaze. Good. And then coming back up. Keep that twist there. Cross the arms over the chest. And come back to centre. And release the arms. Let's lift up that front foot for 5, 4, 3, maybe cheating and using the wall like I am, 2 and 1. Take that knee back. Cool, that makes your legs burn, doesn't it? Tuck the toes, hands to the ground, tabletop, spread the fingers wide. Lift the knees, lift the hips, come into your downwards facing dog. Maybe you want to pedal out the feet here, warm up the backs of the legs, a little move around, see what feels good. Adjust yourself as you need to. Think about where you want to place your feet, where you want to place your hands, so that you can find length in the spine. What can you do to make your spine feel longer, more comfortable? And then slowly lower the knees back down to the ground. Slowly, slowly. And we'll bring the legs around in front of us to come to seated. Bring the legs out stretched. So you might want to take a cushion or a rolled up blanket to sit on, under the sit bones. We're going to start with our toes. We're going to really scrunch the toes up. And then we're going to splay them out and scrunch the toes up. Good. And splay them out. And again, scrunch the toes, splay them out. Then flex the feet with the toes splayed. Really flex the feet. And point the toes and scrunch the toes. So this time ankles moving with the toes. And flex and splay, toes like this, and point and scrunch, so it's like you're trying to give yourself cramp. One more time, flex and splay, spread those toes out. My house is really cold, that's why I've got socks on, sorry, you can't see my lovely splayed toes. And point and scrunch, it's probably a good thing. And then we're going to carve out a circle with the toes, but keep the hands resting on the shins so that we're blocking the legs from moving. So we're going to circle at the ankles without moving the legs. So we're not using the knees or the hips to help with that rotation. Finding a true rotation in the ankle. Carving out that circle one way, as big as you can, but without, and as slow as you can. Without moving knees, without moving shins. Take it in the other direction. Rotate, carve that circle out with the ankles. Good. And then bring the hands behind you. We're going to drop the feet away from each other to come into external hip rotation. So the toes are just dropping away from each other. And your hip is externally rotating, so that thigh bone is rotating in the hip socket. and then drop the toes in towards one another. Again, the thigh bone rotates in the top, at the top here in the hip socket. So rotate outwards, you don't have to use your hands. Rotate inwards, good, and outwards. We're really trying to find that sensation at the hip and inwards. So the knees are relaxed, toes are relaxed. We don't really care about the feet or the knees here. We want them to not really do anything. We want that movement to be driven from the hip. Externally rotating, internally rotating. Good. Do one more. Internally rotating. Good. Come back to neutral so you're not dropping the toes out or in. And we'll bend the knees and just slide the hands down the legs to find a comfortable forward fold, maybe catching the outside edge of the feet. We want to get some length into the lower back. So we're aiming more to sort of lay the chest over the thighs than straighten the legs out. Think about the spine more than the legs in this one. And find a long, comfortable position for the back of the neck, just ironing out any creases in the back of the neck. Again, you can be breathing into the back of the body here, the sides of the body. Just like you were when you were lying on the ground, directing your breath. And then coming back up. And we'll take the feet just slightly wider and slightly more bent. This time we're going to thread the arms through underneath the legs, again to catch the outside edges of the feet. I'm going to squeeze the shoulders with the knees. And you might just be comfortable here, just again dropping the head down. Or you might want to straighten the legs out. You don't have to straighten them fully, just come to a comfortable position. Keep squeezing the shoulders with the knees. And then slowly coming all the way back up. Feet hip distance apart, taking anything out away from behind you so that we can roll down. So feet are hip distance apart, feet down, toes down. You can hold behind your thighs. You can do it no hands, or you can use your hands to help you down. And try and roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. So moving from the sit bones to the tailbone to the sacrum. And then as we get to the lumbar spine, this curvy bit, you really have to push it down into the ground. Push that bit down into the ground, slowly, upper back, rolling down, head comes down last, and we'll draw the knees into the chest and hug the knees in, and have a little rock from side to side. Good. Maybe circling the knees, directing the knees around in circles, one way, massaging across the back, back to the hips, and then taking those circles around in the other direction. And then bring the feet hip distance apart again to the floor. We're just going to start to drop the knees out one at a time to the side. So start with the right knee, just drop the knee, allow the knee to drop to the side. And then bring it back to centre. And then drop the left knee to the side. Good. And just bringing it back to centre. And adding in the breath here. So we're exhaling as the knee drops down. And inhale back to centre. And exhale. Knee drops, and inhale back to centre. do 3 more each side. See if you can start to lengthen the exhale. Inhaling back to centre. Exhaling, the knee drops. Inhaling back to centre. Good. When you've done those 3 each side, we'll bring the soles of the feet together and just allow both knees to drop to the sides to come into Baddha Konasana. Now, you might be comfortable in this position and this might be a really great place for you to relax, or you might feel it's a little bit too deep for your hips, and that's fine too. You can tuck your hands underneath basically your bum cheek, make fists maybe even, and tuck them underneath the backs of the hips there, just so that the knees don't drop so deeply to the side if that's not comfortable for you. Or if you've got cushions to hand, you can tuck a cushion each side underneath your hips, underneath your glutes. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable here. You don't have to feel like it's too much, and I'd say it's not great if it feels like it's too much. So draw back a little. Especially you, Annie. Starting to notice what the breath feels like here as we move towards relaxation. Does it feel like it's naturally slowing, calming, softening? Do you feel like you need a deep breath or very soft, gentle? Just trusting that your body knows what's right, what you need. And then let's slowly draw the knees back together. You can help them together with your hands. And we can start to make our way into a comfortable position, ready for relaxation. So you might want to stay like this. Some people find this super relaxing. Or you might want to have a stretch out, gather something warm, and organise yourself on the ground in a way that feels good and comfortable for you. So it's great when you're at home. Make it look any way that you want. Have a blanket, a cushion. You might want to be on your side or your front. Have your knees bent if you're lying on your back. And bringing your awareness to all of the places where the body is supported and held by the ground. So becoming aware of the whole of the back of the body resting on the ground. Becoming aware of the space around you and the feeling of the air on the skin. Becoming aware of the whole of the front of the body in space. And we can just let go of any effort, let go of any control. Nothing more to think about, nothing more to do. Becoming comfortable with and recognising the feeling of relaxation. As the breath washes over you. starting to deepen the breath. And finding that rise and fall in the abdomen now, allowing that belly breath. And bringing some gentle feeling into the fingers and the toes. Any other parts of the body that want to move or shift. And starting to stretch out. Maybe taking a full body stretch as though waking from a restful sleep. And drawing the knees into the chest, hugging the knees in. Maybe rocking from side to side a little. Before you roll over onto your side. And make your way to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the hands together at the heart. Connecting the palms. Bringing the hands up between the eyes. And folding forwards towards the mat. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you, guys.